Software can be either open source or closed source. If it's open source, this means the source code, is visible to the users to see, and the user is allowed to adapt and change this source code. However, most software is closed source, where the code is not visible to an ordinary user. The user only gets an executable file, which is in binary. They can't see any of the code, and you'd have to use a compiler to make it closed source. The key thing I want to focus on is evaluating these two, and we've got to think of it in terms of both users and the developers, and keep these points quite separate in your mind. Now, open source, because the code is just out there, normally it's impossible to charge for this, so normally the user gets this for free. And the key benefit is there is some flexibility here. If they had the skill, they're able to adapt the code to fit their usage. If you are a little bit paranoid about security or privacy issues, you're able to see the code and scrutinize it. But especially if it is provided for free, there may be less support available, less ongoing updates. And the code itself may be lower quality. Now, why would a developer choose to put their code out for free? Well, they might not have the skill or the time to make it as good as they want it to be. They might be hoping that others contribute to it and improve the software. They might also get a larger user base in publishing free software, but it's hard to make any revenue really, and you've got a lot less control over the rights to your code. So sticking from a viewpoint of a developer, in terms of closed source, you're able to sell it for profit. Another benefit is if there are any issues in the code, they're not widely exposed. And by that I mean if there is a security bug somewhere in your code, it's much harder for an attacker to discover it if the code is hidden from them. However, you have to do all of this on your own because there is no community supporting you as well. For the user, the benefits of closed source often involve ongoing maintenance, ongoing support. The developer might be more involved in putting out updates to their programs. The program might be a little bit more polished, especially if you are paying for it. However, you can't customize it in any way, and you also can't really check what's under the hood. You can't look for any potential issues like you could with open source.